I'm Ambika from Elamal Institute. I'm here to take about dictionaries in Python. This will be helpful for you to in Gritty Girls coding contest. So without further ado, let us continue. So we'll start with the agenda. The agenda of the day is you're going to see what is a dictionary, the introduction of dictionaries. Let's go on to creating and accessing elements in a dictionary and update an element in the dictionary, how it is supposed to be done. Then there are some functions like membership functions and furthermore built-in functions which can be used in dictionaries. So let's start with today's agenda. Today's agenda is going to be about introduction of dictionaries, then how to create a dictionary, how to access the elements in the dictionary, how to update the elements in the dictionary, and also how to add the elements in the dictionary. Then furthermore functions like membership functions and built-in functions are also going to be discussed in today's session. So dictionaries, like before, dictionaries are nothing but collection of elements. So we can access the elements by storing them and retrieving them in the form of dictionaries. Yes, it is equivalent to lists and tuples as well. Okay, so what is the difference of these is you can update your elements of different data types in a dictionary. That is what is the advantage of dictionaries rather than lists and tuples. Okay, so the first point comes here is how do you create a dictionary and how it is supposed to be accessed. So each has its own form of viewing, right? So first one is the data and values are going to be represented. Yes, 1 second. The data and values are going to be represented in the form of keys and values. Let me take a pen for you to highlight. Yes. So it's going to be in the form of keys and value pairs. So when you're going to access the dictionary, you're going to use a key value pair. The keys are nothing but a variable name which is going to identify what kind of values you're going to give, right? Fine. And another point which I told you, dictionary can be represented with different data types. You know what is data type earlier itself, right? Fine. And next point is it's going to be an unordered form. So it is not going to have like in the zeroth place it's going to be the first element, second element is going to be in the first place, third element is going to be in the second place. It's not going to be in the ordered format. It's going to contain an unordered format. So dictionary, as you give, it can be represented in different orders. That's what it's called as unordered form, right? And here, since you're going to use key value pairs, you're going to have key value pairs, right, which is very, very important, which you saw here, key value pairs. These keys are going to be immutable. Okay, you cannot change it whenever you want. That is called immutable. And values are going to be mutable, that you can change on the go. You can update the information. But the key aspect, which is going to be a variable or any kind of data type variable, it cannot be changed once you have declared it. Okay, so that is comes under mutable and immutable. Next comes the point, you cannot duplicate the keys, especially this key value cannot be duplicated. If it's going to be duplicated, it will be overlighted. That you can see it in the demo session, right? Next, which you have to have in mind, so whenever you're going to declare a dictionary, first of all, you should be having key value pairs as well. It's going to be declared in with what format is you are going to use curly braces. So you have to use curly braces in order to have the key value pairs. How will this curly braces be? It will have the key, a value pair, and it's going to be separated with a comma, again a key and the value pair. So how many ever keys you are going to develop, you are going to separate it with commas. So next point that is going to be highlighted for you is going to be in the form of curly braces. You have to declare it, right? Dictionaries are accessed via keys and not via their positions. This is what is very important. You don't have any indexes for it. Like in other cases, you have indexes. Like in lists and tuples, you'll be able to, for example, if I'm taking a string called dictionary, okay, you can allot the positions of each and every element, right? In the zeroth place, you have D. In the first place, you have I. In the second place, you have C. Like this, it will be having some index values. But in dictionary, you don't have any positions. You cannot access through positions. It only can be accessed through keys. That's why here key plays a very important role, right? And most probably where these dictionaries will be used, these dictionaries will be is also called as an associative array. It's in the form of an array, but arrays uses indexes concept, but it does not have indexes concept. Here you can only access the arrays through keys. So this can be also known as hashes, and each key value is going to be mapped with one key. So, for example, take this diagram image which I have given you. So, B is going to be mapped with beauty, J is going to be mapped with joy, and C is going somewhat like this only. These are called keys and these are called values. It has its own values that are going to be represented. That association is also called as mapping. Okay, so these are extra highlights of yours. Right. Next is going to be the last point. The values of a dictionary can be any Python data type. Remember, I told you it is cannot have only one single data type. It's not going to be declaring one single data type. It's going to have different data types that are going to be allowed inside. So when you're going to declare it, I told you it's going to be taking open braces and close braces, right? Inside open and close braces, it is going to have the key and value. The key value can be an integer data type or float or string data type. So that is what is highlighted here. It can be of any data type, and some of the are unordered key value pairs. I told you it is not going to have any fixed order. That's why it's called as unordered data type. So probably now you have a little introduction about dictionaries, right? Let's go move on to the next slide. Yes, now we are going to see how we are going to I have the highlighted points. I told you 3 points, right? So first point is key value pair. Next is you are going to have open and close flower braces. Third, we are going to have key value pairs inside the flower brackets. We are going to have three key values pairs separated with comma. So all this keep in mind. These are the highlighted points. So in order to create, this is how we are supposed to create. For example, let me take a dictionary name as a student. This is nothing but declaring of a variable. This all you would have known in your introduction sessions. So student is a dictionary name. This is the dictionary name student. So this is called as the dictionary name. Okay. Then I'm declaring it as a variable. So it is going to have an open braces. In open braces, you are going to have the key and the value pair. This is going to be your key and this is going to be your value pair. It is separated with colon. Okay. So next again, and next item is being declared. So it is having a comma. Then again a key and a value. A key and a value. Can you see how it is being formed? So this is how you are supposed to create a dictionary. So if you want to print it, how are you supposed to print it? You are going to print it either like this by giving the dictionary name. The dictionary name is student. I told you at the beginning of the class, right? So this is going to be student. When you're typing it student on the interrupt terminal itself, it will display your answer. So probably when you're working with dictionaries, then it's going to be a little amount of information which you're going to collect and give. It's a collection of data, right? So when you collect and give, you can do it in your interrupt mode itself. I hope you know what are the two types of modes that are in Python, right? So when you're typing student, what it will display? This is the answer which is going to be displayed in your screen, in your interactive screen, right? Or else there is another form of printing your dictionary elements. How are you supposed to do that? You can also use print and the dictionary name. So both does the same work. Either give the dictionary name as it is, or give it print student. Got it? Any doubts still here? So this is how you are going to declare or create a dictionary, right? Fine. Now I told you another point in the previous slide that you will not be able to access using the indexes values, right? So if the key is not being used in your dictionary, you will not be able to call for it. It will shoot up an error telling that that key is not being given as a key value pair, right? Fine. So next is in my prompt mode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the student one. Here I'm using the key. Okay. Do you have any key under the name of one in student? No, we have name, roll number and sex. There's no one. So that's why in your monitor it is shooting up error. So this is the error part. Fine. Next, if I have to check what is the name, okay, how am I supposed to pull down the data and see? So this is how we are supposed to see the dictionary name. Then comes the key. Isn't it the same? So what is the data that is going to be pulled out? Raj. Okay, if suppose I want roll number, how am I supposed to do? Again, I'm going to give the dictionary name student. It's a string, so it's going to be roll number. This is what is the key given here, right? Yes. And if I want to print, what I'm going to give? Student. So if I print like this, or I can give print student. This is normal braces, so this is student. Right. Then it prints the roll number. What is the roll number given here? The value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So can you understand this? This is how you are supposed to take the elements and view it out. Right? Fine. Next is, there is a little error given here. Can you check and tell me what is the error over here? Let me clear the screen for you to understand it clearly. Right? So here I am using student number, right? If you see, I have written something like this, right? In roll number, here I have declared the key in the form of a string. Okay, if it's going to be an integer value, I will not be having, if another key value pair I am giving, suppose I am giving first subject as key as 1 and subject 1. See, if I'm giving like this is an integer value. I need not have strings in it. Okay, you know in strings we have declaration of a string has to be done with single quotes, double quotes and triple quotes. So that's why it's given in quotes. This variable name is given as quotes. So when you are pulling out the information as student roll number, if it's given without, the string is given without a quotes, that's why it's shooting up an error. So this gives you an error because the key value is a string and it's not given in a single quote. That's why it's giving us. See, the same when it's not having an error, I'm showing it up. Student roll number, here I'm giving it with either single quotes or double quotes. Anything is right. Okay, so it pulls out the information. Got it? Yes. Third one, let's try for sex. Here the sex is given as capital SEX. But here what you have given? Small sex. So the key value is not matching to each other. That's why it's shooting up error. Got it, children? Any doubts still here? Right. This is how we are supposed to create the dictionaries. So now we'll move on to little further to know more information about dictionaries. Like dictionaries cannot have two items with the same key. That means what? If you are having name as a key value in one of the in a student dictionary, okay, there you cannot have again name. It will duplicate the values. So no two items will have the same key. Right? Fine. Next, if duplication is done, if without knowingly or unknowingly, if you're doing that mistake, what will happen? It will not shoot up an error. It will just update the recent value which has been coming. Okay. If name is done 2 times, for example, here if I'm doing another name here already name has key value has Raj. If I'm doing name is Ram. So this is like the colon and this is Ram as the string. This is also a string. So if I'm doing like this and if I'm printing and saying what will be displayed, Raj will not be displayed. Then the second name as Ram will be displayed. Okay. So let's check it. We'll go on with more examples. It will be more clear when I'm telling the examples. Yes. So the student Again, I'm declaring the student. This part, you know how the declaration is being done. Then again, how to print, or you can use print student. Both works the same way. Student, in the demo session, you will be able to understand this more clearly, right? The third statement. Yes. Now again, what I'm going to do, student, name, roll number, sex, and see, I've included once again roll number. Okay, here roll number is already given as a key value pair. Now I'm going to give two items with the same key value, right? Now what is the answer should be? When I'm trying to print it out, what it will give? The updated roll number only will be displayed. The old roll number will not be displayed. So this is what you have to remember when you are talking about dictionaries, right? Another extra function is being given over here. If you want to know what kind of variable is student, how will you declare it? This you would have seen often. Something called type built-in function can be used. Okay, I suppose you know what is built-in function, right? Built-in functions are those which are already available with the packages in the form of libraries. Okay, which you can automatically use without declaring it or without writing a program for it specially, right? That is called a built-in function. So this type this is a keyword called type. What kind of a type is student? Is it a list or a tuple or a variable, or what kind of it? It is going to be dictionary. It will show you what kind of a variable is student. Next is, if you want to find the length of your dictionary type student, how many elements are going to be there? Name is there. So this is entirely one item. This is entirely one item. This is entirely one item. Okay. So when you're giving the length of student, so this will be calculated as 1, 2, and 3. The size of the dictionary is 3. Got it? So this is how this functions. These are all built-in functions which is already available in your dictionaries. These are little added information for you. Get methods key. If you want to know what is the key, then you can use the get method. This is also another built-in function for you. Right? Fine. Next is, again, I'm trying to display the roll number. You know this has been updated recently. So the updated one has been displayed. So it's equivalent to, you can use like this, or you can use the get method, dot get method of roll number to again display the value of the key. Okay, both displays the same information. Like how I told you, this is going to work the same way. These both is going to work the same way. Got it? Yes? Yeah, I hope you're clear, children. We'll move on to the next slide. Yes, next is updating. Yes, updating and adding an element. How are you supposed to update and add an element? Updating and assigning a new value to the key. You already know one format. If you duplicate the keys, the recent ones will be updated, right? The same way. So the update assigning the new values to the key, it replaces the old ones by new values. That is called an update. Even though you're duplicating it, it's going to do the function of updation, right? Now fine. Now another declaration is done. We went through with an example of student, right? Now I'm going to use a new dictionary, DA. Okay, here I'm going to assign first one. See, integer value. Key is an integer value, so it is being declared as numbers. But here it is attaining a mistake. You have to tell me what it is, right? DA is equal to 1 is 1, 2 is 2, TWO, 3 is 3. But here it is showing error. Can you tell me why? Why? Because 3 is a string and it's supposed to be given in a quotes. Don't forget it, right? Again, see, the right one is given here. So 1 is value, but this is the key and this is the value. So colon key, this is the key and this is the value. This is the key and this is the value. So since it's an integer, you're giving directly without using quotes. If it's going to be string, you're going to, I remember single quotes is given, right? So 1, 2 and 3 is a string which is given. So here quotes are given. So when you are asking it to display, you can display DA directly or print DA. It functions the same. can be written in both the ways, right? Again, I'm going to display what is the value that is going to be associated with 1, right? The value that is associated 1 is ONE, 2 is 2, right? Here, let's go on here, 3. It will shoot up an error. Tell me why? Why? Because it's a string. This key value is given in the form of a string and it's going to be given in quotes. That's why it's shooting up an error, right? 3 is being displayed. Next is DA of 1. Again, if it's going to be ONE, see here my ONE is given in small letters. In small letters, ONE. Here it's given as capital letters. So it's kind of an update, right? So if I want to update that, how am I declaring it? DA is the dictionary name, the key value is 1 and then ONE. So it's a capital ONE and when you ask it to display, see it has changed. ONE into capital letter, right? If you want to add an element, what you're going to do? Fourth element I'm going to add. How am I supposed to do it? Dictionary name, new key value and the value pair. So 4 is equal to FO1 is given. Again I'm displaying it. See, it is being added in the last. Can you see it? The element has been added. So you have updated one thing. This is on update. This is on add. Can you see the difference? So this is how your update and adding elements is going to work. Let's move on to the next slide. Yes, it's a special function, membership function. So membership is nothing but it's going to check whether the key value pairs is available in the dictionary. If not, true and false. Only 2 kinds of answers you'll be getting here. Here you'll be getting either true or false, right? So it returns true if the key is present in the dictionary, otherwise it's going to display as false. So this is a membership function. There are 2 types of function. One is in and one is not in. If it's going to be in, it's going to be true. If it's not going to be in, it's going to be false. So we'll see with an example how it will be. It will be a little more clearer for you. Like again, I'm taking DA, right? DA is, I'm printing it and saying, next I'm going to check the membership function. So one key, the key value 1, is it in DA? Is it present in the dictionary called DA? Yes, 1 is available, right? Key element 1 is available, right? So it's true. That's what it's displaying on the screen. Got it? Next is 3 in DA. Is it available? Yes, true. Okay. Is this 3 available in your dictionary DA? Is any key available? 1 is there, 2 is there. Is 3? 3 is only available in the value column, not on the key column. So here what will it will do? There is no key, right? So it will display false. Now got it, children? Can you understand what is the difference, right? Next is, I'm going to check with another member function called not in, whether it's not in. The same thing. See, is 3 in DA? False. 3 not in DA? True. It's not there. So it's true. 2 not in DA? 2 is available. So it will give false. This is how your membership functions works. Are you clear, children? Right. Let me go on to the next slide. So these are some of the built-in functions which are readily available for you to use along with your dictionary. Is it this much only? There are more things available, only the highlighted ones I have showed you here. You can clear all the elements using the clear function. Okay, if you say clear DA, it cleared all the elements which are going to be present inside it or removes it. Okay, about the elements we are talking about. Next, it returns the copy of the dictionary. If DA is a dictionary name, if you want to copy this to another name called DT, for example, it can be entirely copied here. This is a new dictionary which is being created. From there, you can copy, just have a copy of all the elements that are going to be in DA to DT. Right? Next is form keys. Returns the dictionary with the specified keys and value. Okay? You can newly create keys and value pairs. Okay, we'll see it in the last. This is little bit interesting for you at the end, right? Next is the get. We have already seen this, how to, it returns the value of the specified key. You want to return or update the value, you can use the get key. You can get the information or printed, make it printed. Okay, right? That is what is a get function. Next is items. The returns the list containing a tuple of this. Especially what it will do is it will convert your dictionary in the form of a Tuple. Tuple, you know, no? It has a open square brackets and closed square brackets. Right. It is going to be doing that way. Next is if you want to see what are the key elements, returns the list of dictionaries containing with keys. All the keys which are there, which being used for dictionaries will be displayed. Right. Next is pop. Very important one. It is equivalent to your delete operation, right? So pops out the elements with the, so you can specify the key and the key pops out the value which is going to be inside. Okay, it makes it empty, right? Fine. So you can pop out the element. Okay, a specific item can also be popped out. Removes the last inserted key value pair. The entire key value pair will be removed. Even in pop operation, entire key value will be removed. Okay, pop item also, the lastly entered, which is going to be the last element, 1 2 3 4, the last element, that element will be removed. Okay, then set default returns the value of the specified key. If the key does not exist, inserts the key with the specified value. That is the set default operation. So it's first of all, what it's going to do, the key, if it's, it will check whether the key exists or not. If it's existing, it is going to insert the key with the specified value. This is how this set default is going to work. Next is update, we have already seen, and next is values. It returns a list of values in the dictionary. So whatever values you want, it can be displayed. So these are some of built-in functions, and we are going to just go through with all with an example. Right? Fine. Yes. Now, copy, how to copy it. I told you, right? Entire dictionary is going to be copied to another element, right? So, DA, it contains name, roll number, and sex, like student only. This is another DA which is being created for displaying it. After displaying what you are doing, you're going to type check it. Type checking it, it will tell this is a dictionary format. Now we are coming to the copy operation over here. Let me see the copy operation, how it's going to work. I'm writing the dictionary name. This is the dictionary name, right? Dictionary name dot copy. Okay, empty braces, right? To what? Another variable called db, which is going to be new, right? So db, so when you're typing this db, what happens? See, db was a new variable given, right? The same da's elements are being displayed over here. Okay, so now check what is db. When you type checking this db, it says that it's a dictionary now. Okay, before it was a variable, now it is a dictionary, right? Now you can print and see. This is how we can copy from da. All the elements have been copied to new variable called dt. Clear, children? Any doubt? Very good, right? Next, we are going to see about what are items, keys, and values. This is going to process the same way. So we'll see what is items. Same way it will be included. So again, we are taking the example as DA, right? Again DA. Now you're printing it. Now I'm going to have it with the new variable DT. New variable is dt. My old dictionary name is da dot items. When it's going to do, what is the function of da items? It's called into and made into a list of tuples. It's changing the dictionary values into form of tuples. This you might need in further programming. So this will be very helpful. This is a very important and helpful one. So how it is being declared? See, the dictionary items are displayed in the form of a square bracket. In the demo session, you'll be able to clearly understand how it is being displayed. But you have given it as a dictionary. It is converted into tuples. There it will be helpful for you to use it in further programming languages. Next is you're trying to print it. It's printing it as the same. Okay, next is keys. If you give dt.keys, it will display all the key values in the dictionary, list of keys that has been produced. You want to see if the keys are available or it's being engaged by any other program. If you want to know about it, you can use something called keys. Right? Next is values. Values are nothing but returns the list of values. Here you can separately see what are keys also, what are values also. Let me take the pen for you. So this also helps you to check what all keys are there. So keys returns the values of the list of elements that are going to be present in the dictionary, and values displays all the values. So more than that, items are little difficult to clear. So I've given you the example. Even keys are going to display all the elements in the dictionary, and the values also, corresponding values can also be viewed using values, right? We'll go on to the next slide. Next is pop. I told you, right? Pop is another important operation. When you update information, same way you can go for pop operations also. It removes the elements with the specified key. If you specify a key, see, you are using an empty braces. If you specify it, that particular thing can be removed. Right? It makes the remove operation. So the syntax of it is dictionary name dot pop operation and the specific key. So let's see with an example for you to understand the syntax. This is important, right? So DA is equal to name. The same thing has been declared. You are printing it. Now I'm using the pop operation. So DA is nothing but the dictionary name dot pop, and I'm going to remove what? Sex. That is the key over here, right? Fine. Yes. Now when it's popping out, it will display what is the value of it, right? When it's displaying the value of it, it's going to show that DA. Can you see what it's displaying? The sex has been deleted or removed from the list. Can you see that? Yes. Next is, now what is pop item going to do? Okay, so specific item can be removed. The last item that is going to be added in your list can be removed easily. So how it is being done? Again, you're doing the same functions again. So again, it's going to print all the values. Now DA is the dictionary name dot pop item. Here I have not specified anything in specific to remove. I just give it in an empty braces. If I'm giving it in the empty braces, what it will do? The last item which is there in your dictionary will be removed. Okay, fine. So this removes sex and male, right? When you display and see, you have only two things. Again, if I use the pop operation with an empty braces, last item is roll number. Next last item is roll number. This will be removed. Got it? Am I clear? Yes? This is how your pop operation works. See, it's kind of a fun, right? In demo session, it will be easy for you to understand even more. Right? Update. Normally, we have already seen this. Updating updates your list as the meaning goes. Right? Next is, I am having the same DA function. Then the name, roll number is displayed. Now see, I am inputting a new value with a new variable A. I am taking a new variable A, and A is going to insert this new height into which? Into this dictionary, right? I am going to add this. When I say da.update with A, this A will be included at the end, right? Again, I am printing and seeing. Can you see height has been included? This is how update operation works. So or normally whatever you want to update, you just give it as in the previous slides you see. If you want to add it, you can easily add it also using the get function and all, right? Yes. So this is how the height has been included. We are displaying and seeing it. So these are the ways how you can update the elements. Next slide, set default. So little more information about dictionaries, right? Returns the value of the specified key. If the key does not exist, what it will do? If it's a new height is a new thing, right? If it does not exist, what it will do? Right here, it's going to insert the specified set default. What it's going to do? It's going to insert the key with the specified value, right? The syntax is going to be, see again, dictionary name dot set default, the key and the value both has to be given, right? Let me go on directly with the set default. See, I'm asking the roll number to be updated to this value. This has to be the default value for this roll number. Okay, what was previously there? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, that has to be there. So in the order to include this, what I'm supposed to do, I have to pop out the roll number. Pops out, it removes, right? It removes the roll number, and then I'm checking. It has only two values. Three values have gone to two values. Again, I'm calling the set default. When I'm calling the set default, it is already it is included. Okay, so can you understand how set default is working, right? You have to, if it's already existing, it's removing and then using it, right? Next is del function. This is also equivalent to remove, right? Delete deletes da the entire lit, not specific ones. Pop out removes specific ones. Delete deletes the entire dictionary. The DA, if you try again, it will not work. That's why error is coming. There's no DA present in your dictionary list. So last one is the form keys. So form keys is also an added advantage. It's kind of a fun for you to use, right? It returns the dictionary with the specified key values. So how am I supposed to do that? See, I'm taking a new variable A. I'm going to declare the keys. These are nothing but your keys. Only the keys I'm declaring. Okay, what are the keys I'm going to use? Juice, apple, and ball. Right? So DA, another dictionary I'm going to create. That dictionary is going to contain what? Dict dot form. So it will be, these will be taken as keys for you. Okay? When I'm printing it, see, this is key, this is value, this is key, this is value, this is key, this is value. Right? With open braces and close braces. Got it? Right? I'm going to see, when it's only values, when your keys are taken, no values are given, right? Comma, any value should be given. I've not declared it. So defaultly what it will take? None. The values of each key is going to be taken defaultly as none. Right? Next is, I'm going to assign values for the same. So same, I'm declaring a new variable da dot a comma b. So when I'm displaying it, see here, same value will be declared for all the three. Can you see that? Here you will not be able to assign values individually. It only assigns same values to all the different keys. So this is how it is done. This form keys helps you in this way, right? Next, I'm going to change from B10 to, I'm changing the variable as for kids. See how it is displaying? Apple has for kids, juice for kids, ball for kids. If I'm trying to change individually everything, how it will take? See, if I'm giving it this way, three values, B has taken as values. Even though if you're giving in the form of values, it will not take it. It will take it as an entire item. So for apple, this is going to be the entire item. For juice, this is going to be the entire item. And for ball, it is going to give the entire item. Can you understand? So this is how your form keys works. So we have seen a lot of built-in functions. So until this, I think you would have been clear about what is dictionaries. If any queries, you can ask, and we will prolong to our demo session. With the demo, it will be more clearer why dictionaries are being used. In higher end programming, it will be very, very useful for you. Any doubts, you can ask me, and thanks a lot for watching. Yes, good morning, everyone. This is Ambika from Velamal Groups. I'm working as an assistant professor. Here, now I'm going to take about tuples in Python. So you would have already know about list and all, right? So kindly go through lists, so because it's going to be exactly the same process which is going to be held with lists. So briefly, if you check out a list, it will be easy for you to follow up with tuples also. So let's go on with the agenda. The first is um, let me go on with the agenda. It's going to be light introduction about what is tuples, and then we are going to go what are the different types of operations that can be hold on with the tuples. Then we'll go into built-in methods and what are the different types that can be used in tuples. So everything is going to be exactly same like list, and the functions also there's not a much a difference. Only thing certain operations are going to change. So let me highlight those points, and you can kindly follow what is tuples. So tuple is same exactly like list, and it is expected to have the set of elements to be enclosed with parentheses. So usually in list you will have something like Yes, so tuples are going to be enclosed with parentheses and lists are going to have square brackets. So that is the main difference between tuples and lists. So tuples will be holding the values with open and close normal brackets. So this is the first thing you have to keep in mind, and list usually comes with square brackets. So that is the majority difference. And next difference is it is immutable. What is immutability? You cannot change the value when you have assigned the values. You can in list you can change the values, but in tuples you can never change the values. So that is what is going to make it faster. So that is the benefits of using a tuple. So you can't add any elements to a tuple or remove any elements in the tuple, which becomes makes the tuple immutable. So kindly remember, these two are very important. If the user wants to protect the data, so usually not all the time the user wants to assign new values when he's going to execute. So when it's going to be protected or nobody has to change the values, they definitely take the option of tuples. So never forget, you will not be able to change any values when it comes to tuples. Now let's go with an example so that it's easy for you to understand. And this is major, this takes a major part with dictionaries. You will be able to use the keys, tuple keys, dictionaries. So if you watch the video of dictionaries, when you are assigning keys, you can use tuples as the keys in dictionaries. So that is a major part. Now let's go start with the example. Here let me take the variable called tp1, where it is going to assign values, and I told you how to assign values. It's going to assign values with open and close brackets, and each item is going to be enabled with what? Different commas. So yes, so tp1 is going to be assigned with what? So let me declare and show you. tp1 is equal to 100.2. So let me, I think you might know what is all this. So what kind of number this is? This is integer. This is going to be a floating point number. So this is going to be string, and this is going to be another single string, and this is going to be a floating point. So it's having a mix of data types in a tuple. So it's going to be having open and close brackets. So if it's going to be list, obviously you'll be having square brackets. Same thing, exactly the same function is going to be carried out. So here in tuples, you're going to have normal brackets. Yes, parenthesis, that means. Yes, so when you're trying to print it, when you print this, this is displayed like this. So here indexing plays an important role, as in tuples as well as in strings or list. You have something called indexing, right? So through indexing, you will be able to get the values. So when it's coming to this part, let me erase and show you so that's clear. So when it's coming to this part of the example, so when you want to access the values, what you can do, you can use indexing values. So this is under which position? This is under 0, this is under 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if I want to access the 0th value, what I'm going to give? TP1 is the name of the tuple with the index value 0. So what is going to be displayed over here? 100. So what is going to be on the third? See, whenever it is going to start on indexing values, it will start from 0 to n minus 1 values. So that is what is going to be stored in that format. It is going to get stored in your computer, right? So when you are accessing through the index values, so third place, what is going to be there? D. That is what is going to be declared over here. And since it's a string, you're giving it as a single quotes. Remember, when you watch the string videos, you'll be able to understand what are the strings and different types of strings. Yes. Another important part here is, even though you're giving a positive index values, you can also give negative index values. So if you see strings also, you will be able to understand detailedly. So when it's going to be negative, you're going to start from the reverse order. So this will be -1, this will be -2 indexing, -3 indexing, -4. So if you want to access the from the reverse side, so if you give the minus values, it will be able to index. So this is also validated, or it can be also given. This is not fault in giving. So when you give -1, it's going to access the values in the reverse direction. And another thing also, you will be, see here, 2 times it's being declared. So that is not also a fault part. So you will be able to access when you're including the value for the first time. If you include it, you will be able to access. But once you again If you are trying to duplicate it, you will not be able to do it. Why? Because I told you, right, it's immutable. So it has that immutability concept. That's why. So let's go on further. Now I'm trying to access the index variable 5. Is there any way, index value 5? It starts from 0 to n minus 1, right? So 5. You will not be able to have include 5 because why? You cannot change what has been created in TP1. If you want to include other values, you have to create it once again. That is what is meaning. That's why it's giving you an error over here. So let me go on with another example. See here, if I'm trying to access welcome in 3, but in 3, you will not be able to change. That's why it's giving an error. Can you understand this? So this is how tuple works. Tuple is very, very simple. First, look at the video of list because it is going to carry the same functions and operations and methods, whatever is being carried out in list. So that's why I'm making it simple for you. Yes, let me go on to the next slide. So what are the different types of operations? First is indexing. We are talking about indexing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 values, right? So what is indexing? What is slicing? Slicing is cutting and taking it, like how we are taking a mango, you're slicing it, right, into pieces. So how can you piece it and take out the data? So that comes under slicing. Concatenation is adding, repetition, repeat the data, membership, in and not in. These are all same, not in. These are all same operations which are being continued in strings, lists, dictionaries, everywhere. So membership. Next is comparison. You're going to comparison if the values are going to be existed. So next is, let's see in detail what are the operations. So creating a tuple, you know how to create a tuple. This is the variable name, or open parenthesis and close parenthesis, and it's the divided into commas. So each and every item is going to be divided in commas. Then if it's going to be a string, you're going to give in quotes. So this is how you create. So this is easy to create, right? Next is you're going to print each and every value. So this is, I told you, this is going to be the index value. So on the index value 0, what I told you, this is going to be the position. The 0th position, you have the value 1, value 20. On 1 you have 40, on 2 you have 60, on 3 you have apple, and on 4 you have ball, right? So when I'm picking out, I'm trying to print a of 0, what will be printed? What is the first value? 20. Can you get me? Yes. If I'm trying for the second value, what is there in the second value? 16. Can you get me? Is it easy now? Right? Now let's go for slicing operation. So what does the slicing operation does? So I told you, if you're taking a mango or any kind, if you take your lovable pizza also, you're going slicing it, right? So same way, you're going to slice the element and pick out the information. So from this table, let me clear it for you to see it more easily, right? This is the original data, right? From here, I'm going to slice from 1 to 3. So it's going to slice and take the information. See, one slicing, I'm asking from the first value, from first index value. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? So from 1 to 3, I have to slice and I'm cutting only those information. So when it's 1 to 3, you know which is going to be displayed? 40 and 60. This is called slicing operation. Okay, don't forget. Next is I'm going to concatenate. You know what is concatenation? You're going to join both. Okay, if there are two names, you're going to join two names. So like that only. So another variable 2 and 4 is being given. Where are you going to concatenate? With the original element A. So A and B are two variables with different content. So it's going to add and give you the values. So the list is going to be 20, 40, 60, apple, dollar, 2, 4. Isn't it easy, guys? Right? So these are some of the operations that are going to be had in your tuples, right? Next is some more operations like repetition. If you want to repeat the values, whatever is going to be in that data tuple, you can repeat it. How are you going to do it? In the previous slide, you had b is equal to 2, 4, right? So in that, what I'm doing is I'm multiplying it by 2. So what it does is, inside that value is there, it is repeated again. This is the repeat operation. Got it? Right? Next is in and not in, which is going to give you the Boolean values. If you have seen the previous videos, you will understand what is membership, because it's going to give you true or false. If it's going to be present, it's going to be true. If it's not going to be present, it's going to be false. Right? So 5 in A, whether this 5 element is present in this data tuple. Okay? So it's going to check if it's going to be there. Yes, it's there. No, then it's true. If 100 is in A, is number 100 is there? No. So it's going to be false. The same way, not in. It's going to be 2 should not be there in that list. But it's already there. So it's giving false. If it's not there, it will be true. Got it? Yes. So this is about membership operation. Now let's come to comparison operation. Let us compare how it's going to be. Whether if it's going to be equal, then it's going to be true. If it's not going to be equal, it's going to be false. The A is declared like this, B is declared like this. It's going to be equal. It's going to check. No, it's going to give a Boolean condition. No, it's not equal. So it's false. If it's not equal, yes, it's true. Boolean condition. So these are some of the operations, main operations that can be hold on with your tuples. Next we'll go for methods. So these are the basic methods that can be used in tuples. In tuples, we have indexing method, count, len, min, max, delete. So these are the major operations which I am covering up. So here the tuples, you know, it is immutable. So changes cannot be done. So many operations like add, update, or these informations cannot be done in it. Only these basic operations can be performed. Okay. So remember that since it is immutable, that is only the benefit of tuples using. Why? Because it's going to be faster. Nobody will change the data and nothing can be done with the data. So here I am going to declare for indexing, I am going to declare from 1 to 5. So here I am going to give the value which is going to be present 5. In which place this value is going to be present? In the 4th index. See, check 1, 2, 3, 4. Index 4. The answer is index 4. Next is count. Let me count how many times this, it's going to count how much times it's going to be repeated. So the value 3, is it repeated how many times? Only one time. If this is going to be 2, what will be count of, if I'm asking for 2? This will be 2. Understand? So it's counting if the number how many times it's going to be repeated in the list, in the tuple, right? Next is length, size of your tuple. What is the size of A? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your size. Okay, that's the difference between indexing and slicing. So indexing and length. Length is nothing but the whole length of your list, and indexing starts from 0 to n-1. Don't forget that, right? Okay, this is length. Minimum. So how many times a value is there? Minimum value is present in this list in A. 1 is the minimum value. What is the maximum value? You can use max. These are all keywords and methods which are already present inside. These are built-in methods. I've already told you what is built-in methods, right? Next is delete. If you entirely delete a tuple, if you say del A, it entirely deletes the tuple. So these are the basic functions of tuple. Hope you understood and you enjoyed this video. Thank you. We'll move on to the demo as well as the practice session further. Thank you.
Yes, let's move on to the dictionary demo session. So as I told you, we are going to work only on the interactive mode, not on the scripting mode. So now we are going to see the demo session about the dictionaries, and here we are going to see how we are going to create and access all the theory part we have already seen. So how we are going to implement in the demo session is what we are going to see here. And as I told you, it's going to contain the scripting and the interactive mode, and we are going to work only on the interactive mode. You know what is the difference between the interactive and the scripting modes, right? So yes, let's start by creating an empty dictionary first of all, right? Let me take the same names which have been in the theory as well, right? See, yes. So I'm taking the dictionary name as a student, and I'm going to declare it in the form of an open and closed braces where it's going to have no items inside, right? So if I'm going to have no items, let me see what kind of error is going to pop. Has it popped out any errors? I don't think so, right? Now if I want to print and see what is there inside the student, how am I supposed to do it? I'm going to just give student, or I can use print student. That also I'll show you. See, if I put student, it's showing what has been declared. It has been declared as empty. So whatever is there inside student has been displayed as well. So already you can see that it is having empty. So the answer that it's giving you is also empty. So let me show you the difference between these two prints. You giving the dictionary name in the monitor itself, you can get the answer in the interactive mode, right? So if I'm giving print student, right? So what answer this will give? See, same answer. So the two ways of printing is using the dictionary name as well as you can use print as well. Okay, these are the two types. So this is going to be just printing whatever is being given as a dictionary statement. And I told you in the dictionary, while assigning, you are supposed to give flower brackets. It should contain commas to separate the items. Okay, and you can use all the different types of data types also. You know what is data type, right? So that can also be done. Say, let me declare some items inside without empty braces. So flower brackets, I'm opening up a flower bracket. I'm going to give a string instead of integers, right? For whatever was there in my example before, the same thing I'm going to declare over here. Yes, right, and another quote. So it contains RAM, and it's going to be separate. Next item which I'm going to give is roll number, quotes, colon. It's separated by colon, key value pairs, right? It contains, as dictionary, you know, the dictionary contains key value pairs, right? So I'm going to give you the key. The first key is name, the value for the key is RAM, the next key is roll number, and the value is going to be an integer value. Here should I give quotes or not? No, I should not give quotes, right? I'm going to give values like 1, 2, what was the previous ones given? Okay, yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, it should be another, if I'm giving another item, it's going to be separated with commas, right? So again, single quotes, I'm including it as sex, right, colon, and sex is a, you have to give it in a string, right? So he is a male, and so flower brackets open. So this is how a dictionary should be declared. How I have declared it, I have given the dictionary name, open brackets, close brackets, right? The key, the value. This is the key, the value for it. This is the key, and this is the value for it, right? So let me see whether it's giving any error. No. Now I'm going to print and see what is there in student, right? I can give the name student, or I can give print, right? Print student, right? It will print off. Let me try giving the statement 2 for you to understand. So student, again, see, your dictionary that has been declared has been displayed, right? Fine. Here, another important point which I told you, you cannot access using the index value. What is indexes? I told you, if suppose this is the statement, how do you inform this variable as an index? Like S is in the 0th position or 1. This can be used only in lists and tuples, right? You cannot use it in dictionaries, right? Right, fine. The index value, you cannot access any values in dictionary using the index values. So let me try using the index value. So student, square brackets, if I'm giving 1, let me see whether it's giving any output. See, can you see? I will not be able to, if I'm using the index value 1 or 0 or 2, 3, 4, any index values, if I'm trying to access using the square brackets, right? If I'm trying to do the indexes value, I will not be getting any answers, because in dictionaries we will not be able to use index values, right? So instead of that, how am I supposed to access the values? Let me show you. Student, right, student, is the dictionary name, square brackets, right? Let me give the keys. Using the keys I can access the values, right? So what is the key here? Here the key is NAME, name, right? Now tell me whether this will give you an answer. No, it will not give. There is an error in it. See why? Why? Because name is a string and it should be given in single quotes, double quotes or triple quotes. So once again I am giving student square bracket. If I am trying to give the name, because it's a string, right? So can you see it's giving the name of the, so individually if you want to access the values of each keys, how are you supposed to access it? You should, if it's a string, you have to give the string entirely. Or if you should give a name for it, or if you are giving an integer, if you give it directly, it will access it. But if you are using the index value, it will not be able to access the index values. So that's why it's shooting up the errors. Right, fine. If I want roll number, let me see how am I supposed to access the values. If I'm giving like this, tell me whether you will be able to access the values. Roll number? No. Why? Because roll number is the key value is given in the form of a string, right? Yes. So what is missing here? Single quotes. So if you give single quotes, then only you will be able to access it. Can you see that I am accessing the roll number? Right, fine. Yes. Now again let me try giving. Okay, see here my key is given as small sex. Okay, what if I am trying to give the a different type of, see, let me, yes, let me try for sex. Okay, so student square brackets. Can you see I should give you, it's a string, okay, right? You are supposed to give it as a string. If I am trying to access like this, will I be able to do it in Python? Let me see whether I am able to access it. No, because this type of key is not available. How is sex given? Sex is given as a small, in a small font, right? So if I am trying to access it, I should use only the same, yes, student square brackets. I should give it exactly, I should not use any capital letter because the key is not given in such a way. So that's why it's shooting up error. Can you see? Male is given, right? Fine. Can you understand, children? You should not change the font. If I am trying, see, let me show another example also. Student, yes, single quotes. See, if I am trying to give this way also, you will not be able to access it. See, again it's giving an error. Can you understand? This is how you are supposed to give this is how you are supposed to declare the statement, and this is how you are supposed to print the statement, as well as these are some of the errors shooting up if it's not properly declared. Okay, fine. Yes. Now let us try for type. Another key we saw was type. So what type is the variable student? Is it a tuple or is it a list, or what kind of variable is a student? This is the student name, right? Dictionary name. So can you see what kind of student is variable student? It's a dictionary type. That is what is. So the type keyword fetches you the information about the variable, what kind it has been declared. If you're a new programmer, if you want to know what kind of a variable is a student, you can use type method for checking what type it is. Okay, let me use len. We use len in the demo session, in the theory, right? So let me see how many items are there. So len is nothing but another built-in method. So there are number of methods. In that we have len as one of the methods. So len fetches you the information about how much items has been declared inside the student dictionary, right? How many items are there? 3, right? Fine. So let me get the get information also. The fetches the information of the specific item. So let me see student dot get method, right? If I give roll number, will this work? Why? Because roll number should be in the form of strings, right? Can you see? To fetch a particular item, the value of the key, if I am giving the student dot get method, okay, these are all built-in functions which are already available in the package of Python, right? So, and the roll number, this is nothing but the key. If you want to fetch a single item or access the item in an entire list of dictionaries, it will fetch that particular one, right? Fine. So next we were talking about update, right? Let me use another variable called DA, which we used in the theory session. So DA, now let me declare it as, I'm going to use an integer variable colon single quotes ONE close again. So again 2 second item, next is single quotes, it's going to be given as 2, right? Next is 3 colon. I'm not going to tell you what is the mistake I'm making here, because you yourself should have identified. What am I supposed to do? If I'm giving a string, I'm supposed to declare it in single quotes. Got it? So again here, if I want to print it, what I'm going to give? I can use DA or I can use print DA. Got it? If I'm giving DA as such or student as such, which was already declared before, can you see? Can you find the difference, children? Right? Now if I'm going to add a new item, how am I supposed to do? Or I am going to fetch a specific item, what am I supposed to do? We have already seen it. See, under 1, see, this is not an index value because you are not used 1 anywhere before. Okay, here I am using the index value 1, or the key value is 1 over here. So under 1, what is there? ONE is given. So that is what is fetched and given here. So if I am giving DA square brackets 2, it will fetch whatever is there in the key 2. 2 is having TWO, that is what is being displayed as TWO on your screen, right? Next is, if I want the third item to be displayed, how am I supposed to give? Should I give this way? No. Why? Because it's a string, right? So I am supposed to give it this way, right? Single quotes. Now, right, let me show you that one also, so that you don't make a mistake when you are doing it. See, it's shooting up error because it's a string, right? Fine. Now I am going to fetch the item. After fetching the item, third item, now what I am going to do is I am going to add or update the new item. Okay, now I am going to give the value called new value is going to be fourth item I am going to include. So DA4 should contain FOUR 4, right? Fine. Now enter. It's not shooting up any error. I'm going to display DA and C. See, already we had only 1, 2, 3, 4 here, right? 1, 2, 3, right? Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 items being added and updated. So this is how you use add and update. So can you see 4 has been added at the last? Okay. So it is not necessary, it is going to be ordered in only this format. So according to dictionaries, it is not going to be in an ordered format, it is going to be in an unordered format. So whatever is going to be included at the last will be updated at the last only, right? Fine, it's not going to find any order and going to arrange accordingly. So let me include an extra item in student and show you how it's working, right? So let it be student. Let me include age of the student. So again here age is nothing but a string, so that is going to be close brackets, and I'm going to assign the value for it. Age is a number, so you need not give it as a string. Age is going to be 13, right? Okay children, right. Now I'm going to display student. So how am I supposed to give? Student. See, already we had name, roll number and sex. Now age has been included. Can you see that? It has been updated. So this is how you use the update or add the elements in a dictionary. Fine. Next is membership. So how what are the two things which I told you during the classes? So membership is going to find whether in an inside a dictionary whether it's going to be available or not available. So in and not in is the keyword which you are going to use. So if you are going to see whether the data going to be present, let me work on DA itself. So these are the things which are going to be included. I am going to use the in function. So one in the dictionary name. See, it's given true or false. The answer is going to be in the format of true or false only. So if it's going to be available, it's going to tell it's going to be available and it's true. If it's not going to be available, it will say it is false. So one is available, that's why it's given true. Okay, let me give an item 3. Okay, here only we are talking about what? Not the value, we are talking about the keys. Right. So here do we have anything called 3 over here? Only in the value part we have 3, not on the key part we don't have 3, right? So let me try it with 3. In DA. False. Why? Because there is no keys that are present as 3. But if you give like this, in DA, see, it is available. The key 3 is available. So it is printing true. Let me use the keyword not in, because in member functions we have two things. One is in and not in function, right? So let me see whether 3 not in DA. If it's given like that, here it printed false, right? What it is supposed to give? It's supposed to give not in means it will give true. Got it? Got the difference? To check whether the key value is available or not. Can you see this? Yes? Right, fine. So this is how your membership functions like in and not in can be used in dictionaries. So next comes all the clear, how clear is going to work, how your copy is going to work, and all this we are going to see in the next session, right? So now let me first come along with copy, right? DA contains what are the items? 1, 2, 3, 4. I am going to copy this DA into another variable name called DB, right? Like DB. Let me have the new variable called DB is equal to DA dot copy. Copy is a built-in function. See guys, what is a built-in function? These built-in functions are functions or methods which are going to be already there or available readily for you to use in Python in the form of packages. Okay, when you install Python itself, these built-in functions will be available. So that is what we saw in the theory sessions. So what I am going to do here, I am going to assign a new variable called DA, and this assigns DB. This assigns DA dot copy. What it will do, the contents that are going to be inside DA is going to be copied into the new variable called DB. So when you enter in, it's not shooting up any errors. So again I want to now print and see db. I'm going to give db. Can you see DA has entirely been copied to DB? A new variable has assigned the same set of values and key and value pairs has been assigned on DB. Okay, so this is how it copies. This is how it works. Now if you want to find what kind of variable is DB, what are you supposed to use? Type DB. If you type, this is going to be in the form of dictionary. Can you understand that? Yes. Next is items. So how are we supposed to use the method called items? So here I am going to use a new variable called dt dot da dot items. It's going to access the items which are going to be present in the form of tuples. If you have to assign them, it will be useful when you are using items, right? Now print or just print tt. Can you see in the square brackets it's being given? So again I'll print dt. In dt I have the values dt. Okay, so here can you see the tuples? The tuples in the form of tuples, it is being displaying the items called dt, right? So this is how we are supposed to use dt. So same goes for, now let's check for pop. How are you supposed to do the pop operation? So now I'm going to give DA. Let me see what is there in DA. Now I want to pop out 3, THREE. So how am I supposed to give? DA dot pop. What is the operation pop does? Removes the item, right? Whatever, if you specify the key, including with its value, it will be removed from the list of items which are given inside the dictionary, right? So pop DA, inside the brackets I am going to pop out the key called 3, right? Can you see what inside it has? The value called 3, so it's displaying 3, right? So now let me display and show you what is there inside DA. Can you see, is 3 available? No, 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 has been popped out. So this is how pop works. Let me use pop item and see. Let me use pop item and see. Here let me have DA once again. So DA has 1, 2 and 4 items. Now I am going to use the pop another item called pop item. So pop item. If I give pop only empty braces, I told you in theory classes, whatever is going to be at the last will be removed. If you don't specify anything inside this bracket, the specific item will not be removed. It will be removing the last item which has been updated recently, right? So whatever is the last item in these 2 items, 4 is the last item, right, which has been updated lately. So that item will be removed. So pop item. So 4, even though you are not specifying it, it is removing the 4th item. So now let me try to display it. So 1 and 2 only is available. The last item 4 has been removed. So this is how your pop is used. Now we'll go on to update. Now we'll see how we are going to update. Like let us take DA itself. DA has 2 values. One is 1 and 2. Keys are 1 and 2 and the values are 1 ONE and W3O. Now let's use the update function. I am going to again put 3 key into the key of 3. Let me see how am I supposed to do. Let me have a variable a is equal to, I can insert it this way also, right? So I'm going to give 3 colon quotes THREE. Yes, quotes are not supposed to be given. 3 and again yes. So let me check whether it has been updated. Let me update this. Now what I'm doing is giving a variable. I'm going to include the key and the value. So here I'm going to update this one on DA. Let me update on the DA dictionary. So I am going to use DA dot update of A. Okay, so this A will be updated on which list? DA dictionary. Okay, fine. Now let me print it. Can you see it has been updated? 3 has been updated. The value 1 and 2 were already existed. So 3 has been updated as the third element. Right? This is how your update works. And you can also change the values, you know, as well. So let me take once again. Let me take 2 to be this 3 again to be updated into flower brackets. I'm going to take 2 colon single quotes. Let me put 2 like this, right? Okay. Now I'm going to again update my dictionary. It's going to be update DA update of E. Fine. So now I'm typing it. Can you see TWO has been updated to TOO? So this is how you use the update operation. Now let us go to SetDefault. We'll see how SetDefault works. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the value for 2 once again to TWO. Then again what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it out and then rename it. Right? Let me do the pop operations first. DA dot set default of what is 2 colon single quotes 2 comma, the value is, it has to be changed to 2. Okay, this should be in single quotes. Okay, see, but whatever value is there for 2, the key value 2 is, it's being presented as TOO, but you have to, what you have to do, you have to use it as TWO. So what I will do is first I'll pop it out. So pop single quotes 2. What it will do is, you know, pop operation removes, right? Sorry. So it's going to be dot pop. It's not a string, right? What is the mistake I've done here? It's not a string, it's a value. So this, it will be pop. Now let me type DA. Only 2 numbers are there. Now I'm going to set the default one. DA dot set default. As 2 comma single quotes TWO. So right, so this is how SetDefault works. So see, major of the operations like inserting, accessing, deleting, all this I think you would be clear about dictionaries, right? So this is how you are supposed to implement it, and kindly work it out. If you work it out, you will understand even more how it is being working out. So the basic functions of dictionary has been covered, and if any questions you can ask, and thank you for your patience.